The internet has undoubtedly become a major part of our lives. Many industries and companies rely on the internet for many of their professional activities. And as a result, security threats are also increasing. We can't afford to take network security lightly. The increasing number of devices in the workplace has also increased security breaches exponentially. So in this course, let's understand what network security is and why it is important. As the growth of the internet has increased exponentially, we are constantly being bombarded by multiple types of security threats. All types of security threats apply various forms of malware in which every part of it uses HTTPs, protocols, and components such as link in the mail or instant messaging that have access to the web. Most types of security threats assist cyber criminals by stealing information from infected PC into botnets. These types of internet threats declare an extensive variety of risks like financial damage, personality theft, loss of private information, and using others' online banking credentials. Cyber criminals put users' computer system at professional computer at risk, so these systems must be secured so that attackers cannot penetrate the system and cause any kind of harm. By deciding to overlook cybercrime permanently, business not only put themselves at risk of monetary cost but also reputational damage. With the variety of attacks, network security has become a hot topic in the field of cybersecurity. So if you want to know more about network security, put on your thinking hats and let's get started with this session. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I want to request you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any new update or video releases from Great Learning. If you enjoy this video, show us some love and like this video. Knowledge increases by sharing, so make sure you share this video with your friends and colleagues. Make sure to comment on the video for any query or suggestions and I will respond to your comments.
So let's have a bird's eye view of the agenda for this entire course. Initially, we'll brush up about what is cybersecurity and its need. Then you all will understand in brief about the different types of cybersecurity. Before understanding what is network security, you all should know what is a network and what is a reference model. Later on, we'll be discussing about the types of attacks. There we will be focusing on active and passive attacks. Next, the types of network security attacks. You all will also understand what are the network vulnerabilities, tools used to ensure network security, and the network security protocols. Later on, we'll be discussing about network security solutions and network security best practices for business. Towards the end, we will discuss about few important certifications that an individual can do to pursue a career in network security. You will also get to know what are the roles and responsibilities of a network security engineer. So hope the agenda is clear to all of you. With no further delay, let's get into this course. The world we live in is network like a mesh, including our finances, social profile, and governmental infrastructure. Cybersecurity by default has become a necessity. Cybersecurity encompasses everything from protecting personal information to intellectual property, from deliberate attempts of damage and theft. Risks are festering as the world leans more towards cloud services and global connectivity. For example, Facebook had a security breach where hundreds of millions of Facebook user records were exposed on Amazon Cloud Server. According to content delivery network provider Akamai, gaming industry has been the biggest victim of cyber attacks in the past couple of years. Now let's look at the definition of cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is a practice of protecting systems and networks from digital attacks. Need of cybersecurity. Few years back, firewall and antivirus softwares were used as security measures. But that is not the case now. We have stepped into a new phase in this digital world where cybercrimes are increasing rapidly with the advancement in technology. So cybersecurity plays a major role in securing data from data breaches in various organizations. Data breach is nothing but stealing information from an organization's system without the consent of the owner. Hope you all have understood what is cybersecurity and the need of cybersecurity. Let's discuss about the 6 major types of cybersecurity. The first one is network security. Second one is information security. Third one is application security. Fourth one is cloud security. Fifth one is Internet of Things security. Last but not the least, the sixth one is mobile security. Let's see what are these one by one. Network security. Network security is the process of taking precautionary measures to protect the data from unauthorized access, modification, or destruction. Information security. Information security is also known as InfoSec. It is the process of protecting information from any kind of violations in the form of theft, abuse, or loss. Application security. Application security is the process of increasing the security of web and mobile applications to protect data from attackers. Cloud security. Cloud security is the set of policies and procedures that aims at protecting cloud-based applications and systems. Internet of Things security. Internet of Things security is also known as IoT security. It is the process of protecting IoT devices from vulnerabilities. Mobile security. Mobile security is the process of protecting smartphones, tablets, and other various devices from vulnerabilities. Hope you all understood what are the different types of cybersecurity. Before understanding what is network security, all of you should know what is a network. Network is a connection of two or more devices such as laptops, computers, webcams, printers, etc. to share data and files via internet connection. The most commonly used connecting device is a router that connects other devices via cable or wireless connection. Let's now understand what is a reference model. Reference model is nothing but a standard framework that ensures clear communication between networks. We will be discussing about two popular reference models in this course, that is OSI model and TCP/IP model. Let's discuss the OSI model first. OSI model stands for Open Systems Interconnection Model. The OSI model was developed by an international organization for standardization. This model consists of 7 interconnected layers, and they are physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, and application layer. Each layer has a specific function. The first layer is the physical layer. This layer is responsible for physical connection between devices. In this layer, the information is stored in the form of bits. It converts the data received into zeros and ones and sends it to the data link layer. Data link layer is responsible for transmitting data from one node to another. It is also responsible for converting the data packets received from the network layer into frames. Frame is nothing but packets in data link layer. The third layer is the network layer. Network layer is responsible for transmitting data from one host to another in different networks. Network layer is responsible for routing and logical addressing. Routing is the process of finding shortest path for transmitting the data. Logical addressing is a unique method used to identify the device in a network. The IP address of the sender and receiver is mentioned in the header by the network layer. The fourth layer is the transport layer. Transport layer is the heart of the OSI model. Transport layer is responsible for end-to-end communication between two devices. The transport layer provides service to application layer and receives service from network layer. The fifth layer is the session layer. This layer is responsible for establishing a connection, maintenance, and authentication of sessions. The sixth layer is the presentation layer. This layer is also known as translation layer. This layer is responsible for translation, encryption, decryption, and compression. The topmost layer and the seventh layer is the application layer. This is the only layer that directly interacts with the data from the end user. Software applications depend on application layer to initiate a communication. Let's now discuss the TCP/IP model. TCP stands for Transmission Control Protocol. IP stands for Internet Protocol. The lowest and the first layer is the network access layer. This layer is the combination of physical layer and data link layer from the OSI model. This layer is responsible for transmission of data over the network. The second layer is internet layer. This layer is responsible for logical transmission of data over the network. The main protocol used here is the IP protocol. This layer is also called as network layer. This layer ensures that the data packets reach the destination independently. The third layer is the transport layer. This layer is responsible for error-free transmission of data to the destination. TCP and UDP protocols are used in this layer. The topmost layer is the application layer. This layer handles all the high-level protocols. This layer directly interacts with the data from the end user. So hope you all have understood what is a reference model and the two popular reference models. What is network security? Network security is the process of taking precautionary measures to protect the devices from unauthorized access, modification, or destruction. I hope all of you have understood what is cybersecurity and network security. So now let's discuss the major differences between network security and cybersecurity. Network security protects the data flowing over the network, whereas cybersecurity protects the data residing in the devices or servers. Network security protects the network realm, whereas cybersecurity protects the cyber realm. Network security strikes against Trojans, whereas cybersecurity strikes against cyber attacks. Network security protects the systems from DOS attacks, whereas cybersecurity protects the systems from cyber attacks. Network security deals with the protection of transit data, whereas cybersecurity deals with the protection of digital data. Network security protects the data flowing across the network by terminals, whereas cybersecurity deals with the protection of data resting. So, hope you all have understood the major differences between network security and cybersecurity. Let's move on to the next topic. So, we will be discussing about two types of attacks, and they are active attacks and passive attacks. Active and passive attacks are basically security attacks. In active attack, the attacker alters the messages, whereas in passive attack, the attacker observes and uses the content of the messages to perform various malicious activities. In active attack, the victim gets to know once the attack is performed, whereas in passive attack, the victim is unaware. Now we'll be discussing about the types of network security attacks. In this course, we'll be focusing on 5 types of network security attacks. First one is data threat. Data threat occurs when the attacker uses a system without the consent of the owner to gain private information such as login credential. Data threat is similar to data theft. Next one is insider threat. This occurs by the employee of an organization. The employee might misuse his or her login credential to penetrate into the network to gain confidential data from the organization's system. Next is malware attack. Malware attack is inserting malicious code into the device. Next one is password attack. Password attack is unethically entering into a system by trying to guess or crack the password. Last one is social engineering. The attackers might try to psychologically manipulate the user to gain private information or security protocols. To secure a network, it's very important to understand the common network vulnerability issues faced by an IT professional today. But what are network vulnerabilities? Network vulnerabilities are weaknesses in a computer system that might become an entry point for hackers to attack the entire network. Few common network vulnerabilities are listed here. The first one is improperly installed hardware or software. It's very important to update your hardware or software regularly. Operating systems that have not been updated. In large organizations, it's important to update the operating systems with the latest version. Complete lack of physical security. It is advisable to conduct vulnerability assessments to find out the weaknesses in a computer system to improve the overall security of the organization. Insecure passwords or weak passwords. It's important to change your passwords regularly. Your password should be a combination of uppercase letters, lowercase letters, special characters, and numbers. Design flaws in a network. It's important to verify the design of a network at the initial stage because the design flaws will affect the overall security of the organization. Outdated or unpatched software applications. It's very essential to update the software applications regularly. It's also essential to educate and train the employees about the network vulnerabilities. Check your firewall configuration. Ensure that the firewall configuration is always the latest version. Mobile device vulnerabilities. As we have become more and more dependent on mobile devices, these devices have become an entry point for ransomware threats. These devices have opened a host of possibilities for hackers. Since it is easy to steal data from mobile devices, it is not advisable to store sensitive data unless and until it is absolutely necessary. Hope you all have understood the common network vulnerability issues faced by an IT professional. Let's move on to the next topic. Tools used to ensure network security. We'll be discussing about 5 different network security tools, and they are packet crafters, web scanners, packet sniffers, intrusion detection system, and penetration testing software. Let's see what are these one by one. The first one is packet crafters. Packet crafters are used by the network admins to find out loopholes in the network and to check the behavior of the network devices. Web scanners. Web scanners are used to find out the vulnerabilities in web servers, proxy servers, and web application servers. Packet sniffers. Packet sniffers are also known as packet analyzer, protocol analyzer, or network analyzer. Packet sniffer is a hardware or a software that is used to monitor the network traffic. Packet sniffers also analyze the data packets that are transmitted over the network. Intrusion detection system. This system is designed to detect all the malicious activities carried out in the network, and it also sends an alert message. The last one is penetration testing software. Penetration testing software is used to perform penetration tests. Penetration testing is the process of exploiting the system vulnerabilities to enhance the overall security of the system. Penetration testing is also known as pen test or ethical hacking. So, hope you all have understood about the different tools used to ensure network security. Network security protocols. Network security protocols ensure to maintain the security and integrity of data while being transmitted over the network. We'll be focusing on 5 major network security protocols in this course, and they are TLS or SSL, IPsec, SSH, PGP, and HTTPS. Let's discuss each of them one by one. The first one is TLS or SSL. TLS full form is Transport Layer Security. SSL full form is Secure Sockets Layer. TLS is an upgraded version of SSL. It is one of the most popular and secure encryption protocols. TLS includes 2 layers. The first one is Handshake Protocol and the second one is Record Protocol. Handshake Protocol is responsible for initiating a secure connection between the client and the server. The client and the server authenticate each other and select an encryption algorithm. They also generate shared key using public key encryption. TLS does not perform the encryption process all alone. It uses encryption algorithms such as RSA, AES, etc. to encrypt the communication. Record Protocol. Record Protocol is responsible for securely transferring the data packets between the client and the server using the shared keys generated during the handshake protocol. The next encryption protocol is IPsec. IPsec full form is Internet Protocol Security. This is commonly used in VPN. VPN is Virtual Private Network. As the name suggests, VPN is a secure private network for transferring data into a network via internet connection. VPN usually hides the IP address of the server and redirects the server where VPN host handles it. IPsec is used with encryption algorithms such as triple DES, AES, etc. IPsec is fast and easy to implement. It is implemented in 2 modes, that is, tunnel mode and transport mode. In tunnel mode, both the payload and the header are encrypted and sent in a new packet with another header. In transport mode, only the payload is encrypted and not the header. The third encryption algorithm is SSH. SSH full form is Secure Shell. The working of SSH is similar to VPN. In SSH, an encrypted tunnel is created for transferring files. SSH works at 3 different levels, and they are transport level, authentication level, and connection level. Transport level is responsible for establishing a secure connection between 2 parties, authenticating the 2 parties, and encrypting data. In authentication level, The client authenticates its identity using authentication methods specified by the server at the transport level. Connection level is responsible for handling all the connections between the server and the client. PGP. The full form of PGP is Pretty Good Privacy. Its actual name is OpenPGP. It is used with encryption algorithms such as triple DES, AES, 2FISH, RSA, etc. PGP allows the users to encrypt the data and digitally sign over it to ensure that it is authenticated. It also ensures integrity. It is mainly used to secure confidential email information. The last protocol is the HTTPS protocol. HTTPS stands for Hypertext Transfer Secure. The S indicates secure. This protocol is used to transfer the data securely between the web browser and the web server. HTTPS is a secure extension of HTTP. This protocol is certified by the Secure Sockets layer. Hope you all have understood all the network security protocols. Types of network security solutions. We'll be discussing about 8 different types of network security solutions in this course, and they are stateful inspection firewall, network segmentation, multi-factor authentication, VPN, encryption, intrusion prevention system, web filtering, and antivirus. The first one is stateful inspection firewall. But before understanding what is stateful inspection firewall, all of you should know what is a firewall. Firewall is a network security device that monitors all the incoming and outgoing traffic and permits, blocks, or drops data packets based on a defined set of security rules. Firewall establishes a barrier between your internal network and the incoming traffic from an untrusted source such as the internet to block the malicious traffic such as viruses and hacking. A firewall can be implemented either as a software or a hardware device, though it is best to have both. A software firewall is a program that is installed on your computer to regulate traffic through applications or port numbers. A hardware firewall is a physical device that is installed between your network and gateway. A gateway is a networking hardware device that acts as a gate to form a passage between two network devices with two high-level protocols. When you learn about a new concept, it's very important to know the need for that particular concept. So similarly, you all should know what is the need for firewall. Firewall blocks unwanted traffic and malicious software. Malicious software is a malware that gets installed into the system when the user clicks on a dangerous link or an email. Firewall acts as a barrier between computer and outside network. It secures private information such as login credentials, employee details, etc. Firewall prevents ransomware and hacking. Ransomware is a type of malware that infects the computer and limits the user's access until a ransom is paid to unlock it. Hacking is gaining unauthorized access to an organization system by identifying the weaknesses in the computer to obtain sensitive information. Stateful inspection firewall. This firewall is also known as dynamic packet filtering. This firewall accepts or blocks the data packet depending on the state, port, or protocol information. All the session information like the IP addresses and port numbers are all recorded for better security. The stateful inspection firewall monitors each and every connection to check if the connection is genuine. This type of firewall is useful in business environment. The stateful inspection firewall verifies each and everything inside the data packet while filtering it. Network segmentation. Network segmentation is dividing the network into segments to enhance the performance and security. Multi-factor authentication. Multi-factor authentication is authenticating the user at multiple steps. I guess most of you would have heard about two-factor authentication. Most of the social media sites have two-factor authentication facility. If the user has activated two-factor authentication, when he or she logs in into an account from a new device, he or she needs to undergo the two-factor authentication each time. So, multi-factor authentication can be in multiple steps. Initially, you have to enter your username or password. In the next step, you have to enter the OTP that you received to your mobile phone. Later on, a fingerprint verification and so on. VPN is virtual private network. VPN is a secure private network that allows the user to send data from a device to a network over the internet. What is encryption? Encryption is nothing but the process of scrambling data such that only authorized users can access the data using encryption keys. An encryption key is nothing but a string of characters that is used in an algorithm to convert plain text to ciphertext. Plain text is nothing but unencrypted data and ciphertext is encrypted data. Encryption is required to ensure confidentiality and integrity. Most of you would have come across the statement end-to-end encrypted on social media. End-to-end encrypted means that the messages sent between two parties cannot be accessed by anybody else except the sender and receiver. Even the service provider cannot access these messages. To encrypt these messages, various encryption algorithms are used. Encryption is the fundamental unit of data security. Encryption allows the data to be in the form of encrypted algorithm and then it is placed on the storage cloud. This ensures the protection of data. Even if the data is stored on a third-party provider, one can access the data safely with the help of encryption and decryption keys. Intrusion prevention system. Intrusion prevention system identifies vulnerabilities in a network. Web filtering. Web filtering is preventing the users from viewing certain websites that are blocked by the web browser. The last one is antivirus. Antivirus is a software that prevents computer system from malware. It's important to install antivirus application in your computer systems. Few popular antivirus applications are Norton, Avast and Kaspersky. Hope you all have understood the different types of network security solutions. Let's move on to the next topic. Let's see what are the network security best practices for business. You can't improve network security without knowing the weaknesses. So the first step is to perform network audit. The goal of network audit is to identify the backups, open ports, antivirus and anti-malware softwares, the overall strength of firewall, the overall health of servers, softwares and applications, the possibility of security vulnerabilities, etc. The output from network audit will help the IT administrator to make improvements. The second one is to disable file sharing. File sharing seems to be a convenient method, but it is the most vulnerable point for hackers to intrude the system. So it's recommended to disable file sharing on all the employee devices except the independent servers. Set up a firewall. It's advisable to set up firewall in all the devices as it helps an e-commerce business to protect confidential information of customers. Invest in a VPN. It is always good for companies to invest in a VPN as it blocks all the browser history, data, personal information from the hackers, and it also encrypts the data, which ensures the privacy of all its users. Securing your router is essential as security breaches can occur just by hitting the reset button on your network router. So it's important to keep your router in a more secure location rather than keeping it in an open or a common location. It is always advisable to update your network's name to keep your router confidential. To prevent unauthorized users from accessing your network, it's always recommended to use a private IP address for specific devices on your network. Always establish a network security maintenance system to perform the processes such as running activity reports, setting up a schedule for network name and password change, keeping the software up to date, and performing regular backups. It's important to educate and train the employees about network security as they should understand the implications and risk involved in network security. The employee should also understand how to work as a team to protect the network in an organization. Hope you all have understood all the network security best practices for business. We will be discussing about 5 major certifications that a candidate can take up to pursue a career in network security, and they are CEH, CISSP, CompTIA Security Plus, CISM, and CompTIA Network Plus. So let's see what are these one by one. Certified Ethical Hacker. Certified Ethical Hacker is also known as Certified Network Defense Architect. This certification is obtained from the EC Council. EC Council stands for International Council of Electronic Commerce Consultants. EC Council is a global leader in InfoSec cybersecurity certifications program. This certification covers ethical hacking methodology and several other aspects such as DOS, DDoS attacks, wireless encryption, social engineering, network scanning, and many more. The certification also covers the 5 phases of hacking. To take up this exam, the candidate should have a minimum of 2 years of work experience in the IT industry. The candidate should also have prior working knowledge of TCP/IP. This certification will help you to boost your skills to work as advanced threat analyst, information security assessor, and penetration tester. The total duration of certified ethical hacker exam is 4 hours with 125 multiple choice questions. The cut score ranges from 60% to 85% depending on the difficulty level. Hope you all understood what is Certified Ethical Hacker certification. Certified Information Systems Security Professional or CISSP. This certification is one among the top professional level cybersecurity certifications. This certification can be obtained from the International Information System Security Certification Consortium or also known as ISC Square. This certification covers topics such as vulnerability mitigation in web-based systems, investigations, cryptography concepts, and professional ethics. To take up this exam, the candidate should have a minimum of 5 years of industry experience. The candidate should know at least 2 out of 8 common body of knowledge domains. Common body of knowledge is a framework that includes techniques and skills that the cybersecurity professional should be familiar with. Some of the job roles that the candidate can work under are Information Security Analyst, Information Security Manager, and Chief Information Security Officer. Hope you all have understood what is Certified Information System Security Professional certification. CompTIA Security Plus certification. This certification will provide you all the information required to plan, implement, and maintain information security in a vendor-neutral format. It includes host security, authentication, network security, and organizational security. This certification is the minimum requirement for any IT security position that is above an entry-level job. To pass the Security Plus certification, you will need to know about identity and access management, threats, attacks, vulnerabilities, network architecture and design, cryptography, and risk management. Some of the job roles that the candidate can work under are cybersecurity analyst, security engineer, and security consultant. Hope you all have understood what is CompTIA Security Plus certification. Certified Information Security Manager or CISM. To apply for this certification, the candidate should have a minimum of 5 years of industry experience. The certification was introduced in the year 2002 and since then over 30,000 professionals worldwide have taken it up. This certification focuses on 4 major areas of cybersecurity. First one is Information Security Program Development and Management. Second one is Information Security Management. The third one is Information Security Incident Management. Last but not the least, the fourth one is Information Risk Management and Compliance. Acquiring this certification calls rigorous hard work, time and effort, but the results are worth the effort. IT professionals who are interested in managing enterprise information security can take up this certification. Hope you all have understood what is CISM certification. The last one is CompTIA Network Plus certification. This certification covers topics such as networking fundamentals, network security, network implementations, network operators, and network troubleshooting. To get the certificate, the candidate should take up an exam which consists of 90 questions and the exam duration is 90 minutes. But to take up this exam, the candidate should have a minimum of 9 to 12 months of networking experience. Hope you all have understood all the certifications that a candidate can take up to pursue a career in network security. Network Security Engineer. Network Security Engineer works on designing and maintaining the digital network used by the hiring organization. Network security engineer works from building the network to maintaining the best practices to ensure that the network functions of the organization run smoothly. They also protect the network from falling prey to any kind of malpractices. Network security engineer performs security monitoring and forensic analysis to detect security incidents to mount an incident response. They also utilize the newer technologies and processes to improve the security capabilities and implement improvements. Let's now discuss few roles and responsibilities of a network security engineer. Network security engineer is responsible for developing security standards and practices, finding out new ways to solve the existing problem, to educate the staff members about network security through training programs. He is also responsible for conducting penetration testing and for watching out irregular system behaviors. He can also recommend modifications in legal, technical, and regulatory areas. So, hope you all have understood who is a network security engineer and what are his roles and responsibilities. Hooray! So we have come towards the end of this course. It's time for you all to recollect whatever you all studied throughout this course. Initially, we all studied what is cybersecurity and its need. Cybersecurity is the practice of protecting systems and networks from digital attacks. Then we discussed about six major types of cybersecurity, and they are network security, information security, application security, cloud security, Internet of Things security, and mobile security. Before understanding what is network security, you all first understood what is a network and what is a reference model. Network connects two or more devices to share data and files via an internet connection. Next, we learnt about reference model. Reference model is nothing but a standard framework that allows clear communication between devices. We discussed about two popular reference models, that is OSI model and TCP/IP model. The OSI model consists of 7 interconnected layers, and they are physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, and application layer. TCP/IP model consists of 4 layers, and they are network access layer, internet layer, transport layer, and application layer. I hope all of you will be able to tell what is network security now. Network security is the process of taking precautionary measures to protect devices from unauthorized access, modification, or destruction. Later on, we discussed few major differences between network security and cybersecurity. Next, we discussed about two types of attacks, that is active attack and passive attack. We also learnt about 5 different types of network security attacks, and they are data threat, insider threat, malware attacks, password attack, and social engineering. We also discussed about 8 network vulnerabilities. I want all of you to quickly recollect what are network vulnerabilities. Network vulnerabilities are weaknesses in a computer system that might become an entry point for hackers to attack the entire network. Then we discussed about few tools used to ensure network security, and they are packet crafters, web scanners, packet sniffers, intrusion detection system, and penetration testing software. Next, we discussed about few network security protocols. We discussed about TLS-SSL protocol, IPsec, SSH, PGP, and HTTPS. Later on, we discussed about few network security solutions. We discussed about stateful inspection firewall, network segmentation, multi-factor authentication, VPN, encryption, intrusion prevention system, web filtering, and antivirus. Then we discussed about 9 best practices for business. Later on, you'll got to know about few certifications that a candidate can take up to pursue a career in network security. Towards the end, we discussed who is a network security engineer, what are his roles and responsibilities. I hope the entire session was useful and interesting to all of you. Thank you all.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I want to request you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any new update or video releases from Great Learning. If you enjoyed this video, show us some love and like this video. Knowledge increases by sharing, so make sure you share this video with your friends and colleagues. Make sure to comment on the video for any query or suggestions, and I will respond to your comments.